what parts of this flywheel have you seen work really, really well? And what are some kind of misnomers or questions that you have, maybe misconceptions that people have about how to get this thing started and running without any friction?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because most brands come to us because they've lost control. And then there's a comment in the chat from Mindy around, actually doing enforcement and it doesn't do any good if you have a policy if you're not willing to enforce it. And I could not agree with you more. If you think about kind of our model, we're buying inventory. And so as soon as we partner with a brand, we'll turn around and place a large order for inventory. And we'll sit there on that inventory until all the marketplace is cleaned out, till 1P sells out of their inventory, till the third-party sellers are cleaned out. And so if the brand doesn't have the discipline, the rigor, or the appetite to go and take control, then this whole thing's really not going to work. And it's not something where you can just say, okay, we're going to do it for the next 6 months and then let it go. Like, this is an ongoing challenge that's not going away. And so, I mean, one of the things since I've been here that I'm most proud of is our high retention rate. And it's because, when we sit down and we talk about this with brands, and they're looking at us like, okay, are these guys going to represent my brand well? Is what they're saying true? But what maybe they don't realize is we're kind of going through the same evaluation. Like, how committed is this brand to really taking control of this? And the brands that want to punch these third-party sellers in the face and just take them behind the woodshed are the ones that we're like, yes, we want you guys, because that is what it's going to take to make this go. And so I like this slide, but the control is such a foundational play. Until you figure it out and are disciplined enough to continue to solve it day in and day out, then the growth piece is, you're never going to leverage it as much as you can. And a lot of times all you're doing is you're throwing more gasoline on a challenge that already exists that you're going to have to address down the road.
Yeah. Sort of good comments. How about you, Jared?
So yeah, I totally agree. Like, the control side, it's a grind. You've got to do it. You've got to be committed to it. But I want to highlight the other side. If you're willing to grind and get the control side, like, the growth, it will come. I a number of experiences over several different brands that when you keep the buy box clean, when you maintain control and do that whole control part of it, and you're able to focus on the growth side of it, your investments on paid search, your investment on SEO, your paid advertisements, all that sort of stuff. When you can, turn your attention to the growth side of it, we've seen our average daily sales will literally double, in a matter of days. That and all of a sudden we're just seeing this velocity, for better or worse, that the Amazon algorithm is quite incredible. And if you're committed to stay in control of the business on that side, and once you have that control, focus on the growth side of it, you can see some really, really great growth. And Amazon, especially right now in the current environment, the reward will be there if you're willing to kind of grind that out.